What's up, everybody? It's Jeremy from Weldtec Designs, and I got a cool van to show you guys today. And now we are going simple on this, and I think that is maybe why I just love this so much. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love building crazy motorhomes and vans, but this is just simple and clean. And if you have a Chevy Express van and you don't want it to look like a church bus or school van, maybe this is what you should be doing to it. So this is going to be the shorter. This is a 135-inch wheelbase van. This is the short one, and the way that you can tell that, I'm going to throw down some knowledge on you, is because this little baby gap right here. If it was a 155-inch wheelbase van, that would be longer, hence the longer wheelbase. But this thing just looks really cool. And I will show you a little tip if you do have barn doors, and I've never showed you this little secret and you don't know, you'll be excited, so make sure you stay tuned for that. So up on the front we have a set of Nitto tires. Look at that, pretty cool. So kind of a different option than we normal run on here. This is a Ridge Grappler. This is a 265 7017. So we did go with the bigger tire and an American Racing wheel. So something completely different. You know, we love running our methods on these. So there's an American Racing, did go from the 16 to the 17 in a 265 7017 tire. Now, how we was able to achieve that is just our 3-inch lift spindle up on the front of this, giving it enough height to clear that. Also adding the Fox shock on the front of it to really improve the overall ride quality. And now what's really nice about running a setup like this is it's going to give you the 3 inches of lift. It's also going to give you an 1.5 inch wider track width in the spindle. Each spindle pushes your wheel out 3/4 of an inch to give you a little bit wider track width as well, making your vehicle a little more stable. Now what that also does though is when you run the larger tires, you may need to do a little bit of trimming. We didn't have to in here, but just keep in mind, sometimes you may want to trim the valance portion down here just to make sure that your tire doesn't rub. And sometimes I'll come in the back and trim there. So a couple little tips when it comes to trimming, especially if you end up going with a 5-inch kit. Now keep in mind that something that's really cool as well is if you do this kit and later you decide, hey, I want more lift on there, you can always add the coil spacer to it, and then maybe you want to add a progressive springs in the back. So in the back here, just a small block and U-bolt, as well as that Fox shock in the rear to really make this ride really nice. And that's the key. You know, we want to make your vehicle ride nice. Another nice thing in the back of this is this doesn't have a lot of weight, and I'd really encourage you, if you have a passenger van or a cargo van and you're not putting a lot of weight in your van, we're running the negative overload springs on the back of this. And really what that's going to do is it's going to allow your top 3 springs to really move. However, if you do put weight in there, it's still going to be there to support, you know, additional weight, but it's going to make that everyday driving so much nicer. I mean, just pulling out of the driveway, I could feel the difference. It wasn't so stiff and harsh. And really that's the key, especially if you have a passenger van. Your kids aren't gonna know the difference, be like, oh my gosh, Dad, this ride's so rough back here. I promise you, you will love the ride. Doing a set of negative overload springs in the rear helps it out just tremendously. So really overall, a pretty simple build to run larger tires. Now we were talking about these barn doors, and one of the most annoying things, now check this out, we'll do one other thing. I open this up, pretty cool. You can see he's got a bed, a platform starting to go in here. Dude, just a Mastercraft seat mounted up on a frame, pretty rad, just a lap belt on there. But you know, keeping it simple, it's just sweet. So a lot of people are always annoyed that the Chevy doors only open this far, and I can see like, oh my gosh, it is pretty frustrating that they don't open up all the way. However, there is a little trick. And if you come and see this little latch right here, okay, what you're going to do is you're going to put your finger behind this latch. Now, in order to do that though, I'm going to close the door till about 45 degrees. I'm gonna pull it. You can actually hear it moving. And now as I do that, boom, the door opens up all the way. and you can actually do that to both doors and get them to open up all the way. How much better is that? That is really nice. So there's my little tip and trick to help you guys out when it comes to the Chevy Express and the barn doors. If you guys have any questions about this build, or maybe you're thinking about buying a Chevy Express van, let us know down in the comments. We would love to help you guys out and build a really cool van. My name is Jeremy from Weldtec Designs. I look forward to either seeing your comments down below or maybe here at Weldtec Designs one day. Otherwise, guys, that's all I got. I'll see you in the next video.